The Starfield Direct showed an absolute cluster of creatures that we're not only going to be killing, but also taming if we wish. And since there are so many, I'm not going to do a long ass intro, and we're just going to go over every single creature that we saw in the Starfield Direct. I did find over 40. This video is going to be hella long, so let's just get to it. Drop the video a like for me, consider subscribing if you're new around here, and let's dive straight in. And the first creature that we see is this one on Aquila. We aren't sure what its name is, but we can see again that it is on Aquila, the same planet as Aquila City, obviously. Next on a planet I'm not even going to try and pronounce, we can see this little flying creature bird thing here, but I think we get a better shot of this guy later on, so I'll point it out more later. But by the way, I will go more in depth with the creatures that we can see more clearly, but we're mostly just going to be skimming over the ones like this that we can barely see. Now in this next gorgeous shot with all the lightning and storms, we can see these very weird looking creatures seemingly with 4 legs. These do look hostile to me, and we can see that they're found on planet Freya IXB. We do know that Freya is a Norse god, and many planets in real life are named after mythological creatures or gods, so I do have to wonder if any more planets in Starfield will be named after gods. We see a dinosaur looking creature here, again with a little bird up here, but check this creature out. It looks like it has some kind of scales, and we are fairly close to it, so it could be passive, aka friendly, until we upset it. Outside of New Atlantis, we see another creature that we again can now confirm is on Jemison, the same planet as New Atlantis, although I can't really see much of this guy, so moving on. We can very briefly see a tail, although we can barely see the creature. This is just before we get our first look at combat in Starfield. And soon after we turn here, we can see another dinosaur looking creature. It does seem that Bethesda have taken a lot of inspiration from the Jurassic period to create their creatures. Next we finally get to my favourite creature shown in the entire showcase. These guys are just absolutely adorable and kind of look a little bit like ET to me, but nobody seems to agree with me on that. They've got these weird circular tails and these little smiles, and I just absolutely adore these guys. Looking closer at their skin, we can see that they don't have fingers or thumbs, and it looks like their back has sort of been sewn on. And if we can't ride these guys, then I'm gonna be very upset, so modders, please, get ready to make a mod for me so I can tame and ride these adorable little creatures. And next we can see some more flying creatures off in the background, but we can actually see one sitting up here. But we also have these weird, almost walrus looking creatures with spikes on their backs. Again, we are super close to these guys and practically sprinting towards them, so I have to imagine that they're passive, at least until we piss them off. Now moving on, we do see these two creatures here in this sort of jump scare moment, proving that Starfield will absolutely have some horror aspects, which I'm really looking forward to. We can see the creature at the bottom here has these huge teeth and surely isn't friendly, but he just gets absolutely annihilated by the creature up top, which I do believe is the same creature from Crete from Starfield's original showcase. Again on Jemison, just outside of New Atlantis, we can see what I've been calling a flower head. These weird praying mantis looking creatures look like it almost has some kind of flower for its head, but if we zoom in, this could be an eye right in the middle here. We actually see another one down here. I'm just excited to learn more about these guys. You can definitely see that Bethesda has taken a lot of inspiration from animals and bugs on Earth when creating their creatures. Next we actually do see Aurora here, the fish from Neon that has been turned into the drug also known as Aurora. By the way, it is unclear if these fish will also be called Aurora, but we can see that these are slightly different, which is cool, showing that there's, more than one design for the Aurora fish. But moving on, of course, there's always a bigger fish. I think that this is on Neon, as we can see the Xenofresh Corporation logo down at the right corner. But these fish here are absolutely gigantic. I really hope that we can explore the waters of Neon. It's one of my biggest hopes, and I pray that Bethesda hasn't taken the easy route of just saying, oh, the water's too dangerous, you can't explore it, or something. But anyway, big fish. Now I'm not going to try and pronounce this weird squid looking guy, but we can see us killing this dude on the planet Nirvana, which I'm actually very excited to go to, as Nirvana is my favourite band. I have no idea if this is an Easter egg to them, by the way, but it's cool nonetheless. And next up we see the hunting fawn mantis, which looks cool. This thing looks disgusting, multiple legs, and I'm counting at least 6 eyes here. Though it does look like it has branches on its head, which is a cool, unique look. Kinda reminds me of the wood elves from Elder Scrolls a little. Again, just some more creatures that look like a praying mantis. We can see these guys are on Aquila once more. This is shortly after the skill part of the showcase, and also, if we look up here, we can see this dude with what looks like a horn on his head, kind of reminding me of a rhino. We can see yet another Jurassic looking creature here. Sadly, we don't see its name or where it's from. Oh, next we see a twin tail herbivore. This thing is definitely aggressive, straight up trying to headbutt us. We can see that these are found on Alpha Andrysite 3? No idea if I'm saying that correctly, by the way. After we pick up this plant, we can very briefly see this creature here. It's hard to make out, but clearly it has a massive back, and we can see on the compass that these are found on Beta Terion 3. Again, I'm probably pronouncing all of this wrong. Right outside of our spaceship, the Frontier, we can see these cool looking creatures that have this greenish bluish glow to them, kind of reminded me of glowing creatures from Fallout. These guys look awesome though. I love how they walk together, and actually we can see us, the player, is right here, so they probably aren't hostile. Now we again see these same creatures from Jemison, but these ones are actually being hostile, although if I play the clip for you all here, it looks like it's simply because we got too close to them. Also, make sure you take a listen, because this is the only creature in the entire Direct that we actually hear. And next we see the herding crab herbivore on the planet Tidchia 1, I think is how you say it. You can yet again see the inspiration here from, well, you know, crabs, but this dude looks cool nonetheless, and yes, I know I absolutely butchered the planet name. And here we finally get the name of a bird creature called the moth-wing grazer. I'm just happy that these dudes don't look like giant moths, because I absolutely hate moths. They're genuinely the only bugs or animals that freak me out. I've petted and fed a lion before, seriously, but I just hate moths, man. Anyway, we can see that these are peaceful and give us fibre if we kill them or, you know, take them to our outpost or however that works. They can be found in mountains, swamps, frozen plains, forests and savanna biomes. It's dope that we're getting so many biomes with Starfield. Well, next on the same planet we can see the hunting sailgator, which is a very cool name. We can see it's wary, probably meaning it will attack if we get too close or do something to scare it. It can give us pigment, it has 170 health, and it does a ranged mouth attack, which is odd to say the least. It can be found in forests and mountains. Now this next one is going to be a hard fight, but here we see the swarming dragon with a massive 345 health, found in swamps and savanna, and it gives us burning damage, which is probably where it gets its dragon name from. And here we see another dinosaur looking creature. There's clearly going to be a lot of these in Starfield, but next we finally get a close-up shot of one of the many birds. This dude looks really cool, but also very vicious. I love its colour, but sadly we don't get to see the name or any other information. We see another crab creature here, sadly no information, but I'm not sure if this is the same crab that we looked at earlier. But moving on, we can see yet again another creature that sort of looks like a praying mantis. Bethesda clearly has an obsession here. These look awesome though. Maybe it comes from the same family since the other mantis looking creatures, but it's a different type, who knows. Down here we do see this big guy, again sadly no name or anything like that, but it seems to have stuff coming out of its eyes. It looks like it has wasp eyes or something, or fly eyes or something like that. In this next awesome shot of the melee combat, it looks amazingly improved. We can see this huge thing, which we do know from older footage is called the hunting maggot maw. This thing looks super dangerous and I am hyped to fight it. Next we very briefly see the flocking shroom-headed grazer. It sadly gets clocked right in its jaw, but hey, this thing looks awesome. Sadly we do not see much else of this guy. On planet Nisoi, I think is how you say it, we see the hunting twist fin sprinting at us. I love the look of this guy with the blue hints in its mouth and back. And here we can see the giant herding spider wasp gazer. It appears that grazer will be a popular way to end creatures' names. These are located on Bardeen 3. And by the way, it's important to note that when I say that these are located on certain planets, it's extremely likely that we will also be able to find them in other locations on other planets too. Next we see these beautiful flying whales. This looks so sci-fi. I absolutely love the look of these guys, and I really cannot wait to look up and see these. After that, we can very briefly see this gorgeous purple tinted planet with 10 of these birds flying around, really showing just how beautiful this game is at times. Next we see this absolutely massive creature in the photo mode. Clearly this was just a difficult fight and we're taking a picture here to sort of remember it and be proud of the moment. This thing is just huge. I mean, look at the size comparison between us and the creature. I cannot wait to fight this thing. We can see some floaters here. We do have better shots of these guys in the old showcase footage though. And here we do see a brain sprout, which I did point out earlier, but hey, now we get a close-up look and we know its name. I'm not really sure if this counts, but at this final scene of the beach in New Atlantis, we can see a little fish here in the fish bowl. God knows why, aesthetic I suppose. And here we can see what looks like an alien with human legs. It's very unclear what this is, if we're maybe carrying a creature we just killed, or if this is a strange costume we can buy, or if it's just a weird creature that we can stumble across. But hey, that's finally it. That's over 40 creatures from the Starfield Direct. 40 creatures is really insane, considering we didn't even see all of them. I'm so excited to just throw my life away to this game, dude. But anyway, let me know your favourite creature from this list in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave it a like. It was a pain in the ass to create, and it really helps out the channel. And look, if you do want to stay up to date on everything Starfield, I'm talking leaks to news to breakdowns like this, other discussions and plenty more, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you here. As always, a massive thank you to the channel members, you guys absolutely rock. But with all of that said and done, thank you all so much for watching, and I really hope to see you next time. Peace.